Hey guys, welcome back. It's spring 2022, and we're going to get started with a little overview of the classes. So first, I'm Miss Lily. I'm the full-time math teacher here at TOPS. So if you are watching this video, that means you must be in one of my math classes this semester. So I'm going to walk you through a few things maybe to help you get started, get off on the right track. So hopefully you've got all your classes are going to show up on your dashboard. And I'm guessing you went to one of these in order to find my videos, so that's good that you've got started there. Do make sure that your schedule matches and that all of your classes are published on your dashboard that you're supposed to have in this semester. Also, make sure that your homeroom class shows up here as well. And then if you have anything else that needs to show up, but you should have 4 classes and a homeroom class each semester. Also, it's probably a good idea to just double check and make sure that your classes are what you need to have for whatever year you're in. Each year you can take 8 classes, 4 in the fall and 4 in the spring, and it's a good idea to kind of make sure that you kind of weigh those out a little bit. You know, your math, English, science, social studies, your academic classes that have EOCs and things, those are going to have more work and require more time and things. So kind of make sure that you have a couple hard classes and a couple easy classes each semester. You don't want to have like all easy classes and then next semester you're like overwhelmed because you have too many difficult classes at the same time. So just kind of something to think about as you're looking at your semester. So make sure if you do have any questions about your classes, make sure you contact Mrs. Arnold, our counselor, right away. You only have one day to change your schedule. And of course, if it's required classes, you can't change those. So like math, English, science, you do have to have those classes. That's a state requirement. But some of the classes, your electives, you get to choose as long as you're on track with your credits. All right, enough about that. So let's talk a little bit about what you need to do to get started with your classes. Okay? All right, so let's just click on my Algebra 1 Part 2 class. And when you go to your class, you're going to be able to see the syllabus, and this is a good place to find your office hours, or I should say my office hours when I'm available to help you, and just all the meat and potatoes, you can say, in the class. So this is just kind of all the good stuff that you need to know. Anything that you need to know about the class probably can be found in the syllabus. It tells you what percentages each assignment kind of is weighted as. There is an online emulator, like a calculator at the bottom, that tells you how to download or, you know, get a calculator that would be similar to a TI-84, TI-83, TI-84. This is what we use primarily in my class, and you do need those sometimes. And we do have some to let you borrow during EOCs, but it's much better if you can use that throughout the semester because you're more familiar with it, okay? All right, so each week, the beginning of each week, you should click on your class and click on modules. All right, so in your modules, this first week, we add 2 modules together. So the first 2 weeks are together just because there may be some schedule changes or there may be students still enrolling, etc. So usually you're going to see a module that has 1 week's worth of work due, and that work is all due by Friday at midnight. Now, the most important thing, if you want to be successful at TOPS, and a lot of you guys already know this because you've been here last semester, but just a reminder that if you find the suggested pacing guide, this is the best place to get started. Okay, so I would make a list and I would go through all 4 of my classes and what do I need to get done on day 1. So on day 1 in math, I need to do weekly practice, a few questions on the course, and there's 15 questions there. Okay, on day 2 or Tuesday, I need to do this. On day 3, I need to do this. And on day 4, the first couple weeks, I usually make it a little lighter, so I didn't give anything on day 4 except make sure these are done and completed and submitted correctly so that you get off to a good start. And then the second week would be days 5 through 9. So this would be your second week. And again, just make a list of what you need to do each day. Now, if you try to wait to the end of the week and you try to cram all of this in, it's going to be very overwhelming and stressful, and it's going to be hard to learn all of this stuff at the same time. So you're going to do a much better job if you try to stay on track. Now, we do allow you to have 7 days to work on 5 days worth of work. So each week, except for this first week, our assignments will open at 8 a.m. on Saturday morning. And you have Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to submit your work. Now, you don't have to work on Saturday or Sunday, but if you have a doctor's appointment or you have something coming up that next week, then that allows you a chance to work ahead so that you get all your work turned in on time. So at TOPS, you'll find out that if you stay on track, you're much more likely to be successful. All right, so in this first module, I'm going to have a review. So this review is from your previous class. If you're in a part 2 class, that means you're starting halfway through the class. Hopefully you had part 1 with me last semester. So this is just kind of a review. You go through and it's got different examples and equations and things from each unit that we covered last semester. The next thing you're going to see is a way to access your online textbook. Okay, this is a huge resource that we haven't had in the past, and this is something we just got this year. So this video kind of walks you through how to use your online textbook. So make sure you watch that and you know how to use your online textbook. All right, Cornell Notes. This is something I do want to talk about too. So there's a short video here that talks about how to use Cornell Notes. And in the feedback at the end of last semester, some of you guys said that I would give you comments and I didn't really tell you what I wanted. Well, I feel like the video shows what you wanted, but I also have a bulletin board with student work that several people I said, please go to the bulletin board and look at the examples. But hopefully you're watching this. So we're going to kind of scroll through the examples here together. All right, so you can see Cornell Notes. You're going to have the title of your notes, the date. You'll have your name up there as well. And on the left-hand side, you're going to have important things like definition words or equations or something that you need to know. And then on the right side, it's going to be those explanations. So this just kind of helps you, Cornell Notes just helps you organize things and make it easy to read, easy to see, and keep track of. The whole purpose of taking notes while watching the videos is so that when you go back later, you have something that's going to be useful if you get stuck on your homework. And you can see here that there's examples, compound inequalities, there's a summary, and there's even more examples to go by just in case those are needed. All right, and let's look at one more example here. All right, here's another example of somebody that took notes using Cornell Notes. So again, you got your name, date, and title at the top, and then here's definitions. Some of you guys are really good about, most of you guys are really good about definitions, but a lot of you guys are not as good about making sure you've got plenty of examples. So you can see here there's an example of showing domain range and different formats of that, and all of these examples come from the videos. So you can see how detailed the notes are, and then talks about the vertical line test, independent and dependent variables. Those are important terms that you need to know. And then this student has used color to kind of separate things and underline things that are important. You've got function notation, function rule, and then there's lots of examples here at the bottom as well. So having one example is not very beneficial most of the time in notes. And I try to put plenty of examples in the videos, so just kind of make sure that you take good notes. But anyways, that's going to be in the bulletin board module if you want to refer back and look. These are some notes from last semester that you can look at that have been done well. Okay, and it doesn't mean they're all perfect, but they have done a nice job. Try to organize those and put in what you need to have. So if you're not sure how to do notes, make sure you reference that. I may actually make a rubric at some point if I get time, and that'll be a little bit easier on grading notes. That's completely fair for everyone. If you check off everything on the rubric, then you should get a perfect grade. Notes is something that should be useful, and it is a little time consuming, but it's going to be the best way to learn the material. All right, so you can see this first week, you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 things due this first week, and then you've got the rest of these are due the second week. So just be aware that the first module is long, but it's for 9 days worth of work. So the first 2 weeks are combined just because we don't do attendance after the first week because of schedule changes and things like that. But that does mean you have to be very careful not to get a bunch of absences the first time we do attendance. Because if you don't do anything the first 9 days, you'll get 9 absences the first time we do attendance. And that's not the way you want to start out. So again, make sure you watch the pacing guide and kind of follow along with the pacing guide. All right, well, I look forward to a great semester. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I look forward to seeing all of you guys very soon.